waiting for the encoder to come up. And there we are. Okay, we're going to look
All
ahead
right.
and let me start the music and see if you can hear it. Mary, got it?
Definitely got it.
Oh, we're dancing.
So you wanna be
So you want to be
a
cool kid,
hanging with the
inset,
looking
looking real cute. I have the lyrics now. I've been looking real cute and fine. Casting your fakey net. So you want to be. Bop, 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 bop. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to slow this down. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Bonnie D, and I'm here with the wonderful Mary Ann. Mary Ann, how are you, dear?
I am fantastic. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. It's almost a holiday. I have my red necklace. You see this thing? It's somebody made
Yeah,
it, and I bought it on eBay, and it's little beads. What have you got?
I got Santa Cat.
Santa cat. Catmas. Is it cat? Is it Catmas?
That's right. It's Catmas.
I filled my red mug for this occasion. I put in. Oh, it's leaking. Oh my God, my mug is leaking. There. Well, that's not going to work out. Okay, we're
Ruh-roh.
gonna have a wet desk here. I filled. I changed the water filter in the fridge yesterday, and it
Aha.
says "Be aware." Well, first it burps on you, and then it goes, and then it puts out this black gray carbon-looking liquid, and then you're saying to yourself, "How many times do I have to throw the water away or use it to water the plants
Uh-huh.
before?" I hope this mug isn't leaking. Maybe it's not. Maybe it was me. Anyway, no, the water when I poured it. Anyway, it worked out fine. I want to tell you a quick story. I get something called the word of the day, Mary.
Okay.
And let me change your name because we're only doing last initials here. So give me a second here. You're just going to be Mary, and we're going to just, there we go. We have to keep it secret. Everybody, I want everybody to know
Sure.
you, but keep it secret. The word of the day was very interesting the other day, and it was sounded like an Indian derivation, and the word was quidnunc. And I'm going to stop the audio share, and I'm going to just show you on my, hold on, screen one. You got to see this. Okay. Can you see this very quietly here? It's Quidnunc. Is it coming up on the screen?
It's still just showing started screen sharing, but I'm not seeing anything yet.
Oh, you know what? It's so, all right, I'm going to stop the share. It's so light that you can't even, oh my goodness. I can't stop the screen share. My
Uh-oh.
computer oh, there we are. Okay, we'll skip that for now. What's interesting is that it's the word Quidnunc brought to you. It's sponsored by Rosetta Stone. And the
Okay.
definition is an inquisitive and gossipy person. Mary, the reason I was shocked to get this word as the word of the day is because I went to Camp Quidnunc in New York
Oh,
when I was about
interesting.
14 years old, and we just thought it was a word, I don't know, Indian word for water or park or lake or camp or having a good time. It
Okay.
was Camp Quidnunc spelled exactly the same way, and it really means a gossip. So I went to Camp Gossip.
That's funny.
14.
That
My
is
mom
very
and
funny.
mom and dad are no longer here. My sister passed away too, so I have nobody to tell that story to. So I thought I would tell it to you. It's interesting. Yes, I thought that was very interesting. You got a new saucy dame. Oh, you know what? Let me read the poem because I have a poem for us, for
Okay.
you. I updated a little bit. You know us on our own, Bonnie D and Marianne. Wave hello, Marianne. Dynamic
Oh.
personas and now very good friends. In social media's halls and our global embrace, we love to talk tech virtually face to face. I think that's a rhetorical
I
or
like that.
contradictory. Now on We Dish, we're here to play, lighting up the stream waves in a fresh, fun way. Chatting on culture, tech, wacky news we adore, music, food, and laughter, and oh, so much more. What we're all about is fun and delight. Watch or listen live or on demand, day or night. We won't be here, but find us. Meet us for real with your questions in tow. Comments are welcome. Be nice. You know who you are. You know. So tune in, engage. Let's laugh and connect on more Two Saucy Dames with our own dialect. You will understand us. So Bonnie D and Marianne, two saucy dames today. Together we'll dish. We have lots to say. So there, you've been officially welcomed, Mary.
I love it. I love it. The intros get better every time.
I'm thanking you. Now, question, blue sky. I wasn't going to talk about this, but it seems appropriate. We're not going to get into any political aspirations or
hmm
or side notes on that, but what is blue sky? And I joined it. I saw you there. What do you do with blue sky? Just give us an update,
So
please.
Blue Sky is another social media app. It's very, to me, very reminiscent of Twitter in the early days. And I was on Twitter when it first launched, or
Me
shortly
too.
thereafter.
Me too.
And I mean, I remember when users on Twitter were broken into color-coded teams. So like you had the Reds, that's how long ago it was. I also remember when we reenacted War of the Worlds through tweets, which was a blast. So I mean, I go way back on the platform. And as social media has developed,
Mm,
there are new platforms that come and go all the time. Blue Sky's actually been around for about a year, year and a half, but it's just started recently to gain a little bit more traction. What I like about it is you can sort your feeds by interest. So like I follow the book feed, and I've been doing 20 days of books that have meant something to me. You can't talk about the book, you just put the book cover and you tag it a specific way, and it's just like, here's 20 books that changed my life. So it's like, so that's been kind of fun seeing what other people are
really?
reading. I, of
Hmm.
course, am on the cat feed. I'm on the food feed because I am a foodie at heart. And, there's all kinds of other topics too, but it's a good way to expand your network and see some
Okay.
different perspectives.
Okay, well, I'm looking for poets. I've recently left the poetry group I'm with, and brilliant poets and wonderful people, but it was getting very sad. The topics were getting very sad
Uh,
about death and illnesses and war, and I'm in the mode this holiday season. I want to be cheery. I want to be
sure.
upbeat. I want to
Yeah.
be, and I like to do quirky poems. So I wrote in my profile on Blue Sky that I'm looking for upbeat poets, and we'll see. I'm trying to find if there are some poetry groups where I could share a couple of short poems with them and then with me, and maybe invite some people on one of my radio
Yeah.
shows. I
But I mean,
still
there's
call them
author
radio.
groups and things like that. So it's kind of
Yeah,
fun. So I found some of my favorite authors hanging out there, and just looking at cat pictures always makes me happy.
pretty cool. Well, I'll try it for a little bit. You're one of about four people I know there, and I'm following you, and you're following me back. So let's see. I just had nothing to do when I woke up at 2:30 the other morning, so I said,
Oh,
let's
it's like,
go
hey,
try
let's try
Blue
something
Sky.
new.
Why not? So, do you have any new Saucy Dame songs for me, Marianne?
So this is a oldie but a goodie, but I rarely find people who are familiar with the song.
Oh,
And it is a holiday song that I grew
test
up
me.
with in
Test me.
Chicago.
Yeah.
And the name of the song is My Name is Frumph. Phroom. My name is Frumph. Oh gosh, oh golly gee. The next time you see Santa Claus, just look for me. I'm that little bump upon his knee, and Frumph is my name. So it started out as a child's book, and then it became a song. And I have yet to find more than about five people who have ever heard that song. So if you are familiar with Frumph, leave a comment because I would love to connect with other Frumphians.
Oh, that's funny. So is from is a saucy. It's very saucy, isn't it?
It's very saucy, and it's like a fun little poor little elf that everyone overlooks.
I don't have a Frumpy Frump song. I have a couple of one song is Don't Stop Me Now by Queen. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. If you want to have a good time, give me a call. Well, don't, but anyway, you know. The other one is New Attitude by Patti LaBelle, Running Hot, Running Cold. I was running at overload. I've got a new attitude, I think. Sometimes, yes, even in the life of media people. And the other one I found, excuse me, is by Natasha Bedingfield. I went through a list of 50 empowerment songs for women. And
Aha.
I didn't like the lyrics, and most of them were about breakups and they were about
Uh-huh.
bad things and being fired and some of them were in lingo and I didn't want to do that. So I thought this was interesting. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten. What do you think? Cool?
I like that. I like that. I did have one
Yeah.
other song, but it is a
Yeah,
little bit
please.
more a little more depressing. It's more instrumental though.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, it's just it's called Vale Decem.
Okay.
And it's by the Murray Gold and the Murray Gold Orchestra. And so, because it comes from a show that I'm never allowed to mention on your show,
Okay.
I won't say the name, but for people who know, but it is when the doctor is regenerating into
Oh,
a
you can
new,
mention it. Come on, go ahead. Mention it.
when
Mention
the
it, please.
doctor is regenerating into a new
Woo!
version of himself. And it is
Woo!
just one of the most powerful instrumental with just a little bit of lyrics that I've ever heard. So it's really cool. I just recommend you look it up.
We're going to call it the TV show, The Owl Show. Woo! Doctor. Woo!
Woo!
Woo! Woo!
So anyway,
Okay.
that is one of my all-time favorite songs or musical
Okay.
pieces. Let's just put it that way.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, you snuck that one in. That's fine. Now, let's go to off the top, OTT, Fast and Furious, holiday cooking or baking. Did you, would you, will you, want you? Are you planning to? But Thanksgiving,
Uh,
Christmas, New Year's, what?
so I did host a small Thanksgiving dinner. Not my idea of a good time. I did went to did go to my daughter's house to do some holiday baking. That was fun because she did most of the work.
Yeah.
As a rule, I'm not big on holiday baking or holiday cooking. I enjoy cooking, but not these big spreads. So, yeah, I'm kind of ambivalent. What about you?
Well, I bought a 5.34 pound frozen turkey breast, Shady Brook Farms at my local Food Lion. And the instructions said for every 5 pounds of turkey that's frozen, 24 hours, defrost in the refrigerator before you want to use the turkey. So I put it in, Thursday was Thanksgiving. I put it in early Wednesday morning because I wasn't planning to cook until Thursday afternoon when my family got here. Well, by around noon on Thursday, the turkey was still, you could have broken several windows with it, not because of the 5 pounds, but because it was still frozen solid. So
Uh-huh.
the next set of instructions were put it in, leave it in the wrapper, in the package, in the casing that it's in, and put it in a baking pan or a dish and run cool to slightly warm water over it
Hmm.
and keep changing the water. Well, as you put the water into the pan and it comes up just to the side of the turkey, the water gets frozen immediately. So you're constantly emptying the pan and putting more
Hmm.
water in. Eventually, it will come to a almost room temperature turkey. So I made my stuffing. I made my sweet potatoes, my cranberry sauce, everything. I decided to put a little bit of stuffing, and I used a one Granny Smith apple cut in small. I'm allergic to fresh apples, but cooked and apple pie. Oh, of course, I could have those.
Aha.
So, and a Vidalia onion and celery chopped small, cooked in real butter and with some seasoned salt and some sage and oregano and thyme and basil. I like my seasoning, and I stuffed a little bit in, and then I baked the rest of the stuffing in a pan. Well, cooked the turkey, put it on a rack. It had a pop-up timer, and the instructions were, well, the pop-up timer is nice. I got my winter drip here. The pop-up timer is nice, but you need to have a digital probe or something else. I
Hmm.
have a couple of thermometers, one old-fashioned one with the big circle you push in, the other
Right.
one is digital. So it went for 90 minutes, which are the instructions. This is 5.34 pounds. It should be about 90 minutes. At 90 minutes, the little blue built-in pop-up timer thermometer came out, and I said, "Yay!" And we went and put in the digital probe to check. Well, the bottom that was on the rack in the baking pan, it was 159 degrees, which is below safe temperature.
Hmm.
We went up a couple of inches into the turkey breast, and that was 163, which was 2 degrees under the
Hmm.
advised. And then the top was 180. So
Oh
my
my goodness.
family said to me, "Mom, what did you do?" I said, "I put the turkey." They said, "You didn't turn it with the breast side up." I said, "What's the difference? It's in an oven. The air is circulating," but apparently not.
It does
So
make a difference.
it
Yes.
does. So we did something not obscene, but the word is, and I gave them pot holders and one of those long barbecue forks, the
Uh-huh.
long kind
Yeah.
with the two prongs. And my daughter and son-in-law flipped the bird and
There you
on the
go.
rack and put it back. We waited about another 20 minutes. We re-temped it and it was fine. And it was delicious.
Now,
It
see,
was,
we had a 20-pound turkey that we took out to defrost because originally we were supposed to have about 11, 12 people, and it ended up
mm-hmm.
only being five. But
Oh,
we got this
okay.
20-pound turkey. Well,
Yep.
people got sick and things happen,
Yep.
whatever.
Things
But
happen.
we had this 20-pound turkey. We took it out and put it in the fridge to thaw on Sunday. And on
Yeah.
Thursday morning, it was still frozen. So we're thawing it in the microwave. Um, but then we're trying to get the guts and stuff out of it because it's a whole turkey.
Yep.
So I assigned that task to Ken, and I ran around because we like to document our food journeys. Our kitchen is a small galley kitchen, so I couldn't get any good pictures. So I run around out the front door, jump on one of the chairs that we have on our front porch, make Ken open up the window, and I'm
No.
standing on a chair taking pictures through the
No.
window. My neighbor's coming out going, "What the heck is this crazy lady doing?" But we got some really good pictures of Ken prepping the turkey. But what we did to keep it moist is because I've never made a turkey before.
Oh, I make them every
Normally I
year.
do
Okay.
Cornish hens or something like that. And a lot of times we have vegetarian Thanksgivings or my daughter does the cooking. But
Mm-hmm.
we put onions, celery and large chunks of carrots under the bird on the rack. And then
Mm-hmm.
inside the bird, we also put the onion, the carrot, the celery,
Mm-hmm.
along with some fresh sage. And it was the most moist, tender bird everyone said that they'd ever had.
Wonderful.
And then we
Wonderful.
also tinted it with some foil towards the end of the cooking process so that it didn't get cooked too hot on the top. But much
Yep.
like you, I'm like, which end's the breast? And they're just all laughing at me, going, "You spent all your life in restaurants. What do you mean you don't know which end's the breast?" I'm like, "I don't cook turkeys. I don't know."
To me, the whole thing was, I don't know
Oh, it's
what
like,
which
I don't
side
know
up.
what side's supposed to go
It's a
up, you
side
know?
up and turkey breast. Well,
Doesn't fit in
that's
the pan.
did you tell your neighbors that you were on the chair outside taking pictures into the window because you're a saucy dame?
I
You
did
could have.
not.
You
They
could
just
have.
kind of gave me this look and
You could have.
shook their heads, and I'm just like, "Hey,
And
whatever."
and you could have told them that Ken, who's doing the turkey assignment right now, is a cool
Hmm,
dude,
hmm.
and they would have said, "Here's a
I should
saucy
have thought
dame and a
about that,
cool
yes,
dude."
but
Yeah.
just the look on their face was classic. This
Well,
is old woman.
I did take no old woman. I did take the sautéed celery and apple and onion and put it over. I bought
Right.
white bread for the first time in years and cut it up and tore it up and put it in in a
That's
large bowl, sprinkled a little bit of water over it to keep it moist, and then added the sautéed vegetables on top. That's what
nice.
I put a couple of tablespoons inside the turkey and the rest I baked. But I came up with an interesting recipe for my sweet potato casserole. The Bruce's yams, the kind with the full syrup, the whole thing.
Hmm.
Sorry, not looking at not sugar yet, maybe for the new year. Put that in a baking pan, 9 by 9 glass. My aunt used to call them, just put it in a Pyrex.
Uh-huh.
Pyrex was the brand, and maybe it still is. And then I put in a small can of pineapple chunks,
Ooh.
drained off the juice, but the pineapple chunks. And then I mashed them with an old-fashioned potato
Uh-huh.
masher, the kind that's on a long handle and it
Yep.
has the little
The
openings.
little holes in it. Yep.
And I wanted to do something special, so I had a little leftover brown sugar in a box that was in the fridge. Keep it fresh. I took the box, put it in the microwave, and warmed up the brown sugar so that it was liquid.
Oh.
And I squeezed it out of the bag onto the mixture of the sweet
Oh, that must
potatoes
have been
and the
yummy.
pine. And then I mashed that in, and then I dotted it with miniature marshmallows, and that got baked.
That sounds excellent.
That was really, really good. And homemade cranberry sauce with just you boil water with sugar. I ran out of sugar, so it had less. Very tart and good. I froze fresh cranberries a year ago, and they
Hmm.
were still good for cranberry
I
sauce.
did the
So,
same thing, but instead of water and sugar, I used a mixture of orange juice and apple juice.
oh, nice. Well, the only thing is that the cranberries come in a bag that has little holes in it.
Hmm.
And when I was defrosting it from the freezer, as it thawed, red juice from the cranberries got all over
Oh, I
everything.
just skipped the defrosting step. I just threw them right in the pan with the
I should
juice.
have. I should have. So much for our holiday cooking and baking. And
That's right.
I saw you were making cookies on a cookie
Yeah,
sheet
yeah, yeah.
with
So that was with my at my daughter's. And she had a whole system worked out. So Ken and I were assigned to the klatchkis, which are, different variations around the country. These are not like the big Texas ones. These are the nice Polish.
what is a oh, it's Polish cookie?
It's a Polish kind of cookie. It's made with cream cheese, butter, flour, and then you layer some jam in the
Ooh.
center, and then you kind of
Ooh.
put them together. My sister does a similar version. It's the same dough, but she puts them in mini tart pans. And those, then when they're in the tart pan, they change to friendship tarts. When they're the little like bow tie things, they're klatchkis. So we did that, and then we did a macadamia nut cookie that was
Ooh.
gluten free, that was really good. And then she did this peanut butter cookie, peanut butter sandwich cookie, that you then put chocolate ganache on one layer, peanut butter whip on the other, and then you put the two cookies together to make it like a big sandwich. So those were pretty tasty. And then,
I
yeah,
want
I
that
think that was it.
recipe. I want that recipe.
I'll get it from her.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I whispered it. If you whisper it that you want the recipe, there are no calories when it
That's right.
arrives.
That's right.
No calories.
So
So
that
my next
was
that was it. Well, I didn't do any. Oh, I made a pumpkin pie
okay.
and I used a store-bought graham cracker crust for I think Keebler makes one, and they
Mhm.
put it on the top shelf in my grocery store that's so high, tiptoes, I could barely reach it. They like
Uh-huh.
to put things, people are
Uh-huh.
5'1" or used to be. You have to be
Right.
7 feet to reach. Anyway, I've never used a home store-bought graham cracker crust before. And I mixed the pumpkin puree,
Mhm.
not with seasoning in it, and I put in the pumpkin pie spice. I keep a little container of that and evaporated milk. I think it was 2 eggs as well. But what was interesting was I eyeballed the amount of mixture, Mary, and I
Okay.
said to myself, this is not a deep dish crust. It's not going to take two cans, two of the little cans of evaporated milk. I'm going to just open one.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly filled the crust. So it was a little richer
Perfect.
and it was really, really good. My daughter brought a homemade three variety apple pie that
Ooh,
she made.
yum.
It was just
And
the
my son's
crust was
girlfriend
so
made
good.
a dairy-free cheesecake.
Oh, nice. Very,
Uh-huh.
very nice. Was it good?
Um, I heard it was really good.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a big dessert person.
Oh, my mother had a cheesecake recipe made with, I think, 3 pounds of Philadelphia cream cheese and 5 eggs and a cup of sugar. And I waited until I was in my mid-20s to bake it myself because it was
Mm-hmm.
such a grown-up recipe. It was so rich. Oh, and you grate the zest of a fresh lemon and orange
Nice.
into it. It was so rich that a piece that was about an inch at the it was a cake, but you
Mm-hmm.
made it into pie slices. It was so rich that if you took about an inch and a half at the widest part of the triangle you cut,
Right.
that was more than enough for a grown-up, a person
Wow.
to eat. It was that rich. You couldn't, a couple of bites and you were full. It was that rich. I think it was 5 eggs, 2 cups of sugar, 3 packages of cream cheese, and some
Wow.
other things. It was this was a major recipe. I still
That
have the
sounds
recipe, but
delicious, though.
it is. It was. I'll have to make it one of these days. Okay, maybe when you and Ken come to visit me. Holiday shopping. Are you a brick and mortar or online wish list or picking out the present for the person you think they will like the most or gift cards? What's your pleasure?
Mostly a crafter,
Okay.
followed by my family is very specific, so you
Hmm.
know that you get exactly what's on the list, otherwise you're in trouble. So we are very specific, like, if this is what I want, then we'll put 5 or 6 things on the list, and then you pick from that list, so we're still surprised. But we are all very specific in the things that we like and desire and want. And then when in doubt, gift cards.
Nice. I give e-gift cards to my granddaughters who are both each in graduate school, and I don't go through their wish lists. I really don't want to. There's so much on it, I wouldn't know what to pick, and they would say, "Oh, she only spent this." So I give them
Right.
the amount I want to spend, and that's fine. And I tell them sometimes take a picture of what you buy and send
Mm-hmm.
it to me. Once in a while, I get the picture, and that's fine.
Yeah. See, my daughter
From
puts on Pinterest. Sorry to interrupt, but we have a
no,
Pinterest
please.
board that's called Things I Want Mom to Make. And so she just starts
Ah,
filling that up year round. And then I just go through and like, okay, this is the blanket you're getting this year. This is the sweater I'm making you this year. This is the,
that's lovely. That
yeah,
is lovely. I don't like the Amazon wish list, as I said, because they just put so much on them, and it's, oh, is this one
right.
from last year? Is this it? Didn't mean nobody bought it. Why come nobody bought it for you? I don't want to go through that.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
it's harder. Like I
yeah.
use the wish list for a sort of remembery for myself. Like, oh, here's a book that I want.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have a tendency to either buy the same book over and over again or I forget. So I'll use the wish list for myself to go, don't forget to get this book when it comes out.
Okay. I'm going to make a pun here with, are you a good rapper? Gift wrapper.
No, I delegate that or put things in bags. What about you?
I remember the days. I was talking to Ken about this. I remember the day Mary's Ken K is one of my cool dudes on the spinoff from the spinoff from the show. I remember the days when you go to the department store gift wrap counter and
Yes.
they had huge bolts on rollers on these big racks on the wall, and you could pick if you used the store wrapping, which was free with whatever gift you had bought.
Right.
It usually had the name on the logo of Macy's, Gertz, Bloomingdale's. Nobody remembers Gertz but me.
Sears.
Anyway, and it just, yeah, and just a regular ribbon. But if you want something fancy, you had to
Hmm.
pay more. And I loved the way they would eyeball the box or whatever, whether it
Oh
was
yeah, it was just amazing to
regular
watch.
or it was a different odd shape. And they would look and they would say, okay. And they would take that much off the roller, always a perfect tear, perfect edge. And they'd put it on the counter and then they'd wrap it the best they could. And everything, the points were pointy and the squares were
And
square
it was so fast.
fast, and they knew exactly how to do it. It must have been a training school for this. And just the amount of tape, not the big long things, it just a little bit here, and it always held. And then you got to decide if you want the regular ribbon or you want the fancy ribbon. Do you want the
Yep.
fancy bow thing with all the streamers and that? Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and that was it up. So it was always fascinating. I'm a pretty good rapper, and I went to a garage sale many years ago. Must have been when I was in New York before Durham, and somebody had bolts and bolts and bolts of expensive high-end wrapping
Oh,
paper that they were
wow.
getting rid of. Barely fit in my car. I think I bought about 12 rolls for $8, and this was like
Holy cow,
a
that's
hundred
cool.
dollars worth of wrapping paper. I still have most of it.
That's
Every
awesome.
time I move, I take it with me.
With me.
Some of it is printed on both
Oh
sides
yeah, I
of it.
remember the two-sided stuff. That was awesome too.
Unbelievable. It could be like green with pink circles on one side, and then it could be flowers on the other. So no matter how you wrap it, it always shows up.
That's it.
Beautiful. So that was it. So I collect and save wrappings. Now, any holiday movies, TV shows you're planning, the Yule Log or It's a Wonderful Life or anything for
Die
your
Hard.
house? Uh, for the holiday. Oh,
Yeah, Die Hard
oh,
is a Christmas movie.
I forgot.
Die Hard and the Doctor Who Christmas special. Those are my two things. But yeah, Die Hard is our Christmas tradition
The
because
only
nothing says Christmas like terrorists and things blowing up.
well, also in memory to Bruce Willis,
Yes, but I mean,
who
long before he was
long before,
diagnosed, it
yes.
was it was a movie that we watched. In fact, I saw a clip of Bruce Willis from several years ago where he was at a roast or something, and people had asked him the question of, "Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?" And he said, "No, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. It's a Bruce Willis movie," which I thought was a wonderful answer.
Talk about branding. Oh, that brilliant. Do you know I get lists of things to watch from Peacock and from all the
hmm
different services, Disney Plus and Prime. And what's been showing up recently is a promo, the banner for Moonlighting
Oh,
with
I
Sybil
remember.
Shepherd
Yes,
and
and
Bruce
Bruce
Willis.
Willis.
It must
Yes.
be 50 years ago, 60 years ago, and they're promoting it again.
I think it was the
Moonlighting.
80s, probably.
Was it the 80s? So
I
that
think so.
was 45 years ago then.
Yeah, no, that was a great show. That
Un
Remington Steele.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Unbelievable. And the question is who's still around. I don't know what's happened to Sybil Shepherd. I know she did a couple of spin-offs and she did her own show, the Sybil Shepherd Show. She
Yep.
was really cool. She did one about an old movie theater, I think. There was
Yes, I think so.
something she did and haven't seen or heard from her. She doesn't call me anymore.
Oh, darn.
I
So what
know.
about you? Any special holiday movies or traditions?
Just the only one I can't watch the Hallmark holiday movies because they make me cry because they're all romances and I'm out of the romance market right now. So I can't watch any of those, but my usual French detective shows are fine and they don't do any holiday
hmm
experiences. But what I might watch is I think it's White Christmas with Bing Crosby and Bob Hope and
Oh no,
Vera Ellen
that's a good one, yes.
about the two sisters who were the showgirls and they meet the two guys
hmm
and they're dating them and they find out they're sisters and then there's some retired colonel in the army and they put on a showcase for him and he's so grateful as he's retiring and people find out this one did this and this one did that and it's got wonderful music, wonderful. When I was at the Red Refresh experience at the salon yesterday, they had on a holiday playlist and
Okay.
it was nonstop Christmas songs, nonstop of every musical genre, Mary.
Oh wow.
And there were a lot I remembered, and some of them I wished I didn't, and some of them I had never heard, and I wished I hadn't. But
Heard.
at one point, there was a very fast Christmas song, and I said to my colorist, Anne, I said, "That's Johnny Mathis." "Do, do, do, play, play." And he was just singing so fast. The song was so fast. But I interviewed him and I spoke to him personally on the phone and went to his concert, and I gave him a hug and I cried all that years ago at Westbury Music Fair on Long Island. But I reckon, and the next one was Bing Crosby song, and you heard ba boom, ba boom, ba
Ah.
boom. You heard that ba boom, and
Uh-huh.
so she said to me, "Well, you're a regular Pandora or something like that." And no, no, I'm not. Anyway, she's not that young, but she didn't remember those songs. Let's go to. Do you have any art you want to share? Some AI inspired art? The share
Sure,
is
I have a
open.
couple of pieces I can share.
Go ahead. We've got another 15 minutes, so we're good.
Do, 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 do. Hang on, let me just I should have organized myself a little bit better.
That's okay.
All right, here we go. So the first one we have is Mr. Power Dragon here
Brilliant.
with a shield of protection, which
Gorgeous.
this was part of the one of the prompts that I participate in on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
Then,
Regal. He's regal.
yes, well, and then
Does he
this
have a
one
name?
is
Do you name your
I
dragons?
I do not name the dragons. No. I
Mary.
wait for them to tell me what their names are, but so far they haven't named themselves. So this is a Christmas dragon
Uh-huh.
celebrating Christmas with the TARDIS. Um, because that's what we do. We celebrated the
Mm-hmm.
TARDIS. Then this one is decorating the holiday tree.
Gorgeous.
Then this one, I was just having some fun with this. The dragon and the dragon brood celebrating New Year's Eve in Times Square. So you got
Looks
all the little
surprised.
baby dragons watching. And then I changed it up a little bit and went for more fireworks and things like that. Now the baby dragon stayed home for this one because,
Oh,
Daddy Dragon said it's not safe for your little one. So that's kind of how we're celebrating the holidays.
that's adorable. Lovely. How long does it take you to, in case anybody's wondering, what did you do? The night cafe. I use night cafe,
Yeah,
not
I
Midjourney
use
as
Night
well.
Cafe and I have a lot of fun trying the different models, using the different models. So some of
I
these are
do
done with
too.
Imogen, some are done with Flux. This one was done with Dream Shaper because I wanted a more fantasy style.
Nice.
But once I have the prompt in mind, it usually just
Mm-hmm.
takes a couple of minutes. Now, for something that's more like professional work related, so this is not dragons, but something like this that I was creating for a course that I was building.
Mm-hmm.
This took many, many, many attempts just to
Yeah.
get it right, like the style, the background, the whatever. So, as I tell people, if you're trying to do something with humans for a very specific need, it's not going to be a quick one and done. With my
Mm-hmm.
dragons, it's a little different because I'm going for more
Sure.
whimsical, playful, and we don't really know what a dragon looks like. So, I
Sure.
mean, it can be anything, but when I'm trying to go for like real life, real people, the fun, interesting part here is when you're trying to work, this one I did with Flux because it's better for words, but
Mm-hmm.
trying to get the AI to get the words just
Yep.
right. So like here, I had to do multiple attempts to try and get things the way I
Mm-hmm.
wanted it to be. And I still ended up having to go in and do some edits.
I like
So
the cartoony one. That's cool.
yeah, so it's, but again, I was talking with a friend today and we were talking about AI art and she was just frustrated that it takes so long. She's like, I just thought if I just put a prompt in, I'm like, oh, no, no, no. You could spend hours trying to get it right.
Absolutely.
What
Very,
about
very
you? What
cool.
kind of cool art are you working
Well,
on?
it's funny. Anytime anybody shares, we blow up and the whole Zoom screen blows up and takes up the whole screen. And I got to go reduce it so I can see and get back to the share. Give me a second here.
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna. That's all right. Oh, now we're back to top and bottom here. I want to get us. So we're. Come on, come on, come on, come on. You. Let me just readjust my screen. I have some things to show you, some experiments. Okay, I'm
I
going
love
to
your
share.
experiments.
And I'm going to share my screen and let's see what I've got here. Okay. I have my crystal ball prediction show coming up and I created this. There we go. I created this
Nice.
crystal ball in Night Cafe with a red microphone. It looks like a golf ball almost with a
Mm-hmm.
golf. And then I went into, I use Photoshop and I took the image from Night Cafe, saved it as a JPEG, and added this is a layered text. Can you see it's gold and
Mm-hmm.
black so that it's outlined? But I wanted to do something with me in it. And so I took one of my pictures that happened to be on a red background and I said, please remove the background. Well,
Mm-hmm.
this actually does not have white. These are little dots in the back around me. Those are my
Okay.
fancy sparkly glasses. So if you remember those and you remember that and you remember this, I will show you the finished result was, oh, that's the one I just showed you. Hold on, I got a whole bunch
Mm-hmm.
here. Let's see. Here we go. The result is, oh, this one is just a plain mic where I added the text and I added everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for the one that has me in it, and I don't know if I saved that one.
Oh
Darn.
no.
I was hoping crystal ball zoom. I made this as the background. Oh my goodness, I didn't save the one with me in it. Week one. Nope, I didn't save that one.
Oh
Okay,
no.
I want to show the one. You know what? Just give me a second here and I can find it. I know it's a little awkward, but let me go to Tech Rev. Let me go to crystal ball. Let me go to crystal ball January. See if I have this one. Nope, wrong. Oh my goodness, is this awkward or what? Hold on, I'm going to go back. Let me go to Crystal Ball 25. I don't think I have them here. Oh, Mary, let's see if
Oh
I have them.
no.
Nope, I've got them here somewhere. I will find it just a second here. I know I had it all set. Promos are here. See, I gave myself a promo. Okay, so this is what it looks like and I added my
I
picture,
really like that.
dropped it into, I went in Photoshop and dropped my picture. And this is the dots. This is the almost a pixelation, but you can still see my eyes, my lips. This is me, dropped it into the crystal ball in Photoshop. And Mary, I was jumping up and down as soon as I saw it. I said, "Oh my God, how did that happen?" It was all an accident. It was an experiment. I did not know this would happen. And then I take everybody, this is not the one with you, but I take all the pictures of my guests. I'm going to have 8 people on this one. It's 5 weeks, 37 guests total. And I drop in their promo pictures and then I say, remove the background in Photoshop. So it cuts out the background, whatever's behind them, and all you get is a headshot. And so all these
Aha, I
little
like it. I
headshots are
like
there.
it.
And then I add the text on the top, and this is the promo that I send out to each of the 5 weeks to all of the guests so that they can promote it. I say Bonnie D welcomes AI futurists, and I put their names. So is that cool? But this was just almost, it was I won't call it a mistake. It was just a complete experiment. It was a eureka aha moment where I just moved my picture into the crystal ball and it just fit inside. It was like it was designed that way. I was absolutely shocked. And then the only one I will show you other than that is, let's see if I still have my crystal ball pictures here, is some of my faces that I did. I did here. I created
Ah, I
these
like
faces,
that.
and this is painted by me. So this is done in Night Cafe. Blonde man, curly hair,
I
glasses,
like that.
beard, and then I print it out on clear 8.5 by 11 film, and I run down the hall to my art studio, and I don't slap him, I slap it upside down on a piece of white cardstock, 12 by 12 cardstock. It's heavier than paper, and I rub my hand over the back and press it, and it comes out with a tracing or an outline. It does not look like this. Then I take my glitter glue, I take my acrylics, I take my watercolors, I take my collection of little fake jewels. You can see the eyes.
I
I
love it.
take, look at his necklace. That is a gold candy wrapper. I
Oh,
collect
wow. That's very
candy
clever.
wrapper inside of cookie boxes or whatever, and then I make a painting out of it. So he was one I did, and here's one. Here's a woman I did, woman with silver hair. Same thing. I painted on her lips with acrylic and I outlined with black glitter glue her glasses. I put in some fake jewels there. I put a
I
jewel in her
love
hair.
it.
And this is a lot of this. And look at her necklace. This is silver wrapper and three of the little plastic jewels that are stick-ons that I have.
That is
So
so neat.
thank you. So those were my my art shares. There we go.
I love it.
So
I love the eyes with the gems.
thank you. And they're on display. 8 of them are on display at the hair salon. They were modernizing. They sold the salon a year ago, and the younger owners wanted something funky. And I showed them on my phone what I was doing, and they said, we love them. So I framed them and I brought in 8 of them. Nobody there would buy anything like that, but they're framed and they're on a wall which says Radio Red. Call me if you're interested.
That
Uh,
is so neat.
yeah. So when I was there, I was looking over at the wall that yesterday and seeing my pictures, and it was very, very thrilling to see that.
Oh,
So you got
yeah.
any news stories for me?
Got one for you.
Okay.
Hang on. Let me just pull
I
it
got
up.
7 minutes. Let's see what you got.
Sure, sure. Let
And
me
then
just
I
pull
have
it
one or
up.
two to share with you, and then we'll go out.
Perhaps I can pull it up. My internet is being wonky. I'm looking at my other monitor. Hold on. I'm just going to read it from my phone. How about
Okay,
that?
that's fine. That's fine.
All right, so here we go. This is kind of cool. A family scribble painting is actually an original Picasso.
What?
So, yeah, I know. It's a
That's why
story
it's called Say What?
that's right. Say what? What's happening? It's a story that is better than fiction. In 1962, Luigi Lo Russo, a junkyard dealer, was scrounging through the basement of an Italian villa and stumbled upon an asymmetrical painting of a woman on a rolled up canvas. Instead of selling it at his family's pawn shop, he kept the artwork and eventually gave it to his wife to decorate their home. The couple's son, Andrea LaRosso, told CNN she named it The Scribble. Over 6 decades later, experts believe this scribble is actually an original by Pablo Picasso, and the woman
No.
featured is poet and photographer Dora Maar, the Spanish painter's lover. Although you can see Picasso's name on the upper left corner of the painting, Andrea said his dad didn't think anything of it when he found it as a young man. A graphologist for Patrimony Court in Milan said in a statement to local media, there's no doubt the signature is his. The best part, it's estimated to be worth around $6 million, but could sell for much more if certified by the Picasso Foundation. So that is pretty cool. And if I can screen share for just a second,
Wait a minute,
maybe
you
not.
can't because I just put the music up. Go ahead. No, you can share now. Go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to share the picture very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And there we go.
Unreal.
Very cool.
Very, very cool.
What about you?
Very cool. What about you're such a polite guest. Let me go to advanced here and let me go to computer. Oh, I'm not ready for audio. Let me just go to, I'm not, you know what? I'm just going to go to screen share again. Okay, here we go. So, the first article, I have three quick ones. Virginia state parks, 43 of them, are installing viewfinders for people with color blindness, Mary. That's for people,
Wow.
this was published in September, 300 to 350 million people, and more men than women. I didn't know that. One in
Mm-hmm.
12 men have a color vision deficiency, and one in 200 women. So, they're putting in this viewfinder, and I'll show this to you. This is the difference. Even people with normal color sightedness can see clear sharper. So
That's
this is what you
cool.
would this is normal and this is what a colorblind person would see. And here is the app on the phone. Is that cool beans?
That is very cool. What is the name of that app?
The name of the app is let's see what I have the name of it just says it's created by Seacoast, Seecoast Manufacturing. That's all I
Okay.
have here. I can look for the name of the app. So it's just something that they installed proprietary on these viewfinders in the parks in Virginia, 43 state parks.
That's
Interesting.
really awesome.
It's a reason to go to Pocahontas State Park in Virginia, Chesterfield, Virginia. The second article is the origins of bubble tea. And
Oh, that's
yes,
fun.
and it started with bubble tea back in the 1940s. It's expected to be a $3.5 billion market this year. That's value.
Wow.
A person named Chang Fan Shu was working as a mixologist in Taiwan.
Oh,
And he opened a tea shop selling hand-shaken tea made with cocktail shakers, and the foam went on top. And you can see the foam here. And then in 1986, a local Taiwanese artist and entrepreneur, Tu Song He, started a business. He had a hot pot restaurant that didn't do well, and he had 4 million in Taiwan dollars, which is equivalent to about 124,000 US dollars, that failed. And he said he saw these tapioca balls.
okay.
So he remembered them, and these are various pictures. Bubble tea is handshaken. So he said, why don't I add the tapioca balls to the green tea? And he did. And he added the bigger, I'll show you in a second.
Okay.
And the straws were too small to suck it up. So they went to a plastic factory to make customized. This is called a chain of entrepreneurship. These are the white and the darker bubbles balls,
That
tapioca
is
balls
so
to
cool.
make bubble tea. And there was a dispute over who actually had invented bubble tea. The court
Okay.
decided it was a drink anyone could make, therefore it was unnecessary to debate it. And then boba means the champion of breasts based on
Interesting.
a
Well, because
movie character, and that's where the boba tea came from. And the last article goes exactly with this. And we have 2 minutes for you to go to your meeting. This is a world food and drink etiquette map I
oh,
found
nice.
that will tell you what to eat, what to drink in different parts of the world. Here's Spain and France and Canada, Algeria, Venezuela, Colombia.
That is so cool.
For example, in Colombia, don't eat with your hands. In Venezuela, even fruit is eaten with a knife and fork. In Mali, eat with your hands around a community bowl. In Angola, you dress up for dinner as you would for the office. And Namibia, a cow's stomach is seen as a delicacy. And I'm going to leave you with that.
Interesting.
Interesting?
Yes, no,
Very.
no, that's fascinating. And the boba tea, like when I first heard of boba tea, because my daughter introduced me to it, the only thing I could think of was Boba Fett from Star Wars.
Well, that might be the character. It was based if that's what the character's name was. So Mary, I know you have to go to a meeting, and I'm just going to say happy holidays to you and Ken and
Happy
your
holidays as
wonderful
well.
family. And let me put the music on here. Let's go, and we're
And
going to
thank
say
you
happy
for
holidays.
accommodating my crazy schedule today.
Oh, that's fine. I'm happy to have you here, and let's go with the music. And we'll say thank you to Serge Hoffman, who wrote the I wrote the lyrics and he wrote the music, and
So
he
you
sings
wanna
it. He's going to
be
do it again in 2025. He wants to do a different
Awesome.
version. Let's dance our way out.
hanging with the ink.
holidays. I'll be back with more Cool Dudes and Too Saucy coming up soon.
That's excellent.
You and fine.
Here we go, coming to the bridge.
You faking it. So you wanna be.
By the way, it was 19 degrees here this morning.
Oh, just a bit nippy.
Yes, 19 degrees Fahrenheit. Those of you who are in different parts of the